We welcome you back to another episode of the No Stop Podcast. I'm your host, Chris Duffy, and I'm really sorry about the lack of episodes the past few months. Me and Declan have been very, very busy with school and athletics and whatever you have. It, but we're back. Well, just me. But we have a lot to talk about on today's episode because we've missed so much time. First and foremost, the Knicks are up 2-0 in the best of seven series in the Eastern Conference Finals against the Cleveland Cavaliers. Like, what? And if and game three is tonight, and they're on a 9-0 win streak in the playoffs this year. And if the Knicks win tonight, there's no doubt in my mind that they're going to win this series. And then whoever they play, the Spurs or the Thunder, I feel like they could win. And the reason why that is, it's because they have straight dogs on that court. Josh Hart gets left open. He bricks the first few threes he takes. Okay. So what? He keeps shooting. He shot just shy of 50% from three. Just shy. He scored 26 points on 5 of 11 shooting from three in game two. So they can't leave him open anymore. But what's that going to do? Nothing. Jalen Brunson, so what if he only scores, 17 points? He turns on the clutch factor late in the game, and he can get stuff done. And so can Karl Anthony Towns. OG Anunoby looked a lot better 2 nights ago. First game, not so much because he was injured. This Knicks team is really, really good. And they have the right mentality, the right chemistry, and the right coach to coach them to the promised land. It's incredible what this team is doing. The New York Knicks are up right now. The New York Knicks are the best team in the league right now, I feel. They really are. But unfortunately, with having a good team in New York, they're going to have a bad team in New York. The New York Yankees are not doing great at all right now. Right now. But it's because they're sacrificing. I like to call it a sacrifice. You know why? Because it's happened in the past couple of years. For example, when the Rangers were in the playoffs, the Yankees were not great because they sacrificed for the Rangers. It's the same thing this time. Yankees aren't that great, but they're sacrificing for the New York Knicks. It's going to happen. But in reality, the Yankees are not doing great right now. Garrett Cole made his season debut last night, and I was there. I was there in person to watch it, and he looked great. From coming back from Tommy John surgery, almost missing 2 years of gameplay. But then there was no run support of the Yankees. How do you tell me they have 11 hits in that game and only scored 2 runs? It makes no sense. It's illogical. It's not logic. It's not logical. So the Yankees lost that game, unfortunately, and they waited too long. Shout out Austin Wells for hitting his fourth home run on the year, though. But he's not a great catcher. You got to move on. That experiment is over. You should have went to get a catcher in free agency, a righty catcher. Cashman and Boone, there's way too many lefties in that lineup. You got to get rid of some of them. One of them is a catcher who you have in AAA, I believe. Ali Sanchez. He's a righty catcher. Why not see what that guy got? You know why? Because they're relying too much on the analytics and lefties because of the short porch in right field. It really makes no sense. Okay? It really makes no sense. But, they still have plenty of time to go. And they were playing the best team in baseball, the Tampa Bay Rays. But still, you're the New York Yankees. You have 27 freaking rings. Get a grip and play some damn baseball. Come on. Jazz Chisholm dropped a ball. I know it was an infield fly rule, but he dropped the ball. Jose Caballero had an error. It went right out of his glove at short. And that's what led to the Tampa Bay Rays scoring 4 runs in the seventh inning. Can't have it. Cannot have it. We move on to the New York Giants, which there's been a lot of news there. Some good and bad news there. Because Malik Nabers, that injury timeline, we don't know where the hell that's going. First, it was he's going to be ready for training camp. Then it was maybe for week one. Then it was hopefully for week one. Hopefully. You go from maybe week one to hopefully week one, or he's going to be ready by week one to hopefully week one. You know what that tells me? First of all, he had a setback in the initial um, recovery from his ACL tear and all of that jazz. And then he had a cleanup surgery a few weeks ago. And you know what that did? I think that is going to lengthen the amount of time, the amount of recovery time. But at the same time, it's going to make him heal quicker. If that makes any sense, because an ACL injury is very, very brutal and very hard to dissect and very hard to come by or recover from. And now you have this cleanup surgery, which will hopefully shorten it and make him healthier, but it might take longer. That's where I am right now. Roy Robertson Harris, a defensive tackle for the New York Giants, also tore his Achilles at OTAs a couple of days ago. Prayers up for him, but he's done for the year. So now it's going to have to be a next man up mentality. Darius Alexander. I think it's going to be Darius Alexander to take over the reins there because he's that good, I think. Now, last year he didn't have that great of a year. He had 20 tackles, 3.5 sacks. But that's also because there's not that much opportunity, and Shane Bowen was the defensive coordinator. And now you have Denard Wilson, who, quote, said, "I am not your friend." He said, "I am not your friend. I'm here to coach." And that's what the Giants need. That's what the Giants need. They need a dog at every coaching position. That's why John Harbaugh was the best hire they've had in years, probably since Tom Coughlin. I kid you not. This has been the best hire since Tom Coughlin for the New York Football Giants. Speaking of hiring, they also re-signed Joe Schoen to be their general manager for the future, which means that Harbaugh and Schoen are working really well together. That's what this team needs as well. Okay? That's what this team needs as well. Because clearly it didn't work with Brian Daboll and Joe Schoen, but now it is with John Harbaugh and Joe Schoen. Got to see what's going to happen. And got game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals tonight at 8 o'clock on ABC. It's going to be a tough game for the Knicks. You know why? First of all, it's on the road. They go back to Cleveland. Well, I shouldn't say go back to Cleveland. They'll play the first 2 games in New York, but now they're going to Cleveland, so it's going to be an away game. But the Knicks are 9-0 since what was it, game 3 of the first round against or game 2 against the Atlanta Hawks, something like that. Game 2, 3. But since the first round, they've been 9-0 in the playoffs. What? Got to continue that. I'm looking to see a lot more from Cat and Brunson. I'm looking to see a lot from Mikal Bridges. He's shooting, I believe, a scorching 73% or so from the field since that Atlanta series. So he's been a big reason why they've gone 9-0 up to this point. But it ain't over. It ain't finished. Is it finished? Shout out Jason Tatum. No, screw Jason Tatum. Screw him. That's why you lost to the Sixers, which we in 4 games. Let's go Knicks. And let's go win a championship for the first time in 53 years. That's going to do it here from the No Stop Podcast. I'm Chris Duffy, signing off.